Hello and welcome to the Joinery Business Podcast. Today on the show, we're continuing our Meet the Team series where we're introducing more of the internals here at the Joinery Coach and the Marketing Joint. Today we have in Clare Maree, who is the content and team lead over at the Marketing Joint. Today we want to hear a bit more about herself and her story within marketing and within the Marketing Joint, her kind of beliefs around marketing and what she specializes in. Clare's a really brilliant leader. She has a lot of really great opinions and advice surrounding marketing. If you have any questions about today's episode, be sure to jump on over to the Joinery Business Hub on Facebook. Now, without further ado, let's jump into today's episode.
Welcome to the Joinery Business Podcast. I'm joined today by an amazing individual that works in and actually for and in and around and all that sort of fun stuff. The Marketing Joint. I'm joined by Clare, who is the marketing manager. Clare Maree.
It's me.
Are you getting married soon? So will your last name change, Clare? Or?
It will. I'll be on Martoccia soon. Nice and Italian.
Yeah, that's great. So welcome, Clare. Thanks for joining me. We love having you on. This has been on a couple of times on the podcast. We love sharing your story, and we love having you share your experiences in marketing in the joinery industry in general. So for the purposes of making everybody aware of who you are, Clare, maybe I'll just do what I normally do, go into my corner and shut up for a little bit, and just let you tell us a little bit about you and what you do and how you got here and all that fun stuff.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for having me on. Like Bruce said, I'm Clare. I am the marketing manager for the Marketing Joint. And honestly, I've been in marketing right out of high school. So I was lucky enough to get a graduate position or a pre-graduate position, actually. I was still studying marketing. And I've been in the industry ever since. So definitely like to think that I've got quite a bit of expertise in the field. And I've always kind of worked for multiple businesses at once. So similar to what we do with the Marketing Joint, kind of in an agency perspective, or before that, actually in a retail perspective, where I was working with many stores and many individuals at once. And I think it kind of helps take away my ADHD brain a little bit, being across many different people, many different things, and exploring all the wonders of their businesses. So I think the Marketing Joint was an awesome fit in that way, being able to obviously niched into the joinery industry, but exploring the residential side of things, the commercial side of things, and getting to really understand everyone's business and, what their goals are.
You did have a little bit of a connection to the cabinet industry, didn't you?
I did. My partner is actually a cabinet maker. Talking about him so much, you'll be very happy.
But he's going to make his fortunes in MMA, isn't he?
Oh, I hope so. It's very stressful for me, but yeah, Muay Thai.
Excellent. Cool. All right. So, we often talk in various ways, both in the Joinery Coach and at the Marketing Joint, about how time flies by because we love what we do and it seems to happen that way. How long have you been with us now, Clare?
I've been here just over 2 years now, I think.
Yeah, it's amazing. And in that time, we've really achieved some amazing stuff building this agency. I'm really proud of what you've done, frankly, because the agency is just kicking goals every single day.
Crazy to think that it's been 2 years because we've got such awesome clients and everything kind of changes so quickly. It feels like it hasn't been that long, but yeah, looking back, it has.
Yeah. Clare, can you give us a bit of a breakdown as to what makes the Marketing Joint different from other marketing agencies?
I think so much of what we do is really different to a traditional agency. I think the first thing that really sets us apart is transparency and the way that we communicate. So we use monday.com for all of our communication, but we also have those touch points and these strategy boards where we can actually customize every single thing to the client and to their target market. And I think rather than kind of having a general spray all effect where every single client is getting essentially the same thing, we really, really try and make every single client super, super different. We try and have that relationship with them where we know exactly, has anything changed in the business? Are you looking to kind of turn a corner or looking to go in a different direction? Has what we've been doing been working? And everything is super trackable and super transparent. And we have that degree of, being super honest with them. If anything is, oh, we don't think that's going to work, or yeah, let's have a look and let's refocus it to look in this direction. I think that's something super unique, kind of like a bit of a no bullshit approach, which is very rare to find in the marketing industry.
Yeah, it's so true. And what I love about what you bring to the table is you've fully bought into what I was trying to achieve from the very beginning, which really isn't that hard to figure out because you came from the marketing industry in general. And one of the first conversations we had was, like you just said, most marketing approaches is very general. In our industry, whether it's true or not, everybody wants to have a very specific and unique approach that only works for the joinery industry. And one of the beautiful things that we've done is we've created an agency that only works with people in the joinery industry and, commercial, shop fitting, furniture, those sorts of fun things. But I think it is true that how we market a traditional cabinet or joinery business is different than how you might market a builder or a plumber or someone like that. Tell us a little bit about some of the strategies that we use that get people, really kicking goals early on.
I think the main thing that, we always talk about is attraction-based marketing. And that is, so huge in every single thing that we do. So, obviously starting out with that initial conversation of who is it that you're trying to bring in? Who is that target client? What exactly are you looking for in an ideal world? And then kind of working backwards from that to try and bring them in with our marketing organically. So rather than having like, okay, we need this amount to join the agency plus this amount for paid ads every single week, we obviously see the benefit and we love paid advertising as well, don't get me wrong. But having that attraction-based marketing as our baseline and kind of an always-on campaign is massive in everything that we do. I think that is that's the biggest one. And I think also leaning into that would be pain point marketing. So from that, those who we're trying to attract, what are their pain points? What are they struggling with? And how can we speak directly to them through social media, through the website, through lead magnets, and trying to really reel them all in through all those different avenues?
I would say that we do a really good job of generating leads for our clients. And that's not conjecture or debate, because we do have, like you say, we share our monday.com system with them, which shows, you've got leads pouring in. The cool thing is when we combine that with the coaching side of things, we can now teach people how to convert those into paying customers. For the sake of our listeners, Claire, who may not really be clearly aware of the difference between attraction-based marketing and the typical hunt style marketing, talk a little bit about the difference between the two, the traditional SEO, I want to rank number one on Google, traditional old school marketing, and how we kind of approach things. What's the difference?
So I think when you're looking at something traditionally, people kind of think of marketing as sales. So they kind of think of, okay, I want to be front of mind all the time. Doesn't really matter who I'm speaking to. I want to reach the largest amount of people possible. And I want to do it constantly all the time. I'm going to throw money at it. I'm going to try and get these results. So you mentioned SEO. Obviously there is purpose and power in SEO and in having these keywords on your website. But I don't really believe in, paying someone $1,500 to go in and write a blog that doesn't make sense with all of these keywords so that anyone who types in, joiner near me is going to see them first.
Yeah.
What we kind of do from attraction-based marketing is get super, super specific with the type of person. So are they people with a certain socioeconomic status? Is it people living within a certain radius of your business? Is it people that are looking for a particular style of kitchen or a particular business that's looking for a certain type of joiner to work with? So once we've kind of nailed that down, then we try to speak to them through everything that we do, including socials, website, lead magnets. So I'll start with social. We kind of want to have a balance of people, purpose, product. And through all of that, we've got that target client and who we're trying to attract in mind. So if we're speaking about people, we want to show the audience who's looking at it people that are really similar to them. So, for example, if it's a mum and dad down the road living in a certain type of area, we want to show people loving the kitchens or testimonials from people in a similar situation to them.
Yeah.
So they can see that and resonate with it.
And that creates that attraction part that you're talking about, doesn't it?
Yeah. Exactly, because if you can see yourself and envision yourself in that product, then it's really likely that you're going to engage and be attracted to that business.
Yeah.
If we look at it from a process perspective, we want to outline exactly what it looks like for them working with your business in a way that relates to them. So, for example, if we are talking about that mum and dad down the road, how can they reach out to you? What's it going to look like when they do reach out to you? What's the process going to be like? Who are they going to be talking to? Who's going to be in their house? Compared to if you're working with someone like a large business, you obviously want to have the process tailored to them. So kind of in everything that we do and everything that we put out, having them as the end goal and in mind when we're creating any content.
Yeah.
So that's the socials part of it. If we look at your website, we also want to have a people-focused website and an attraction-based website. So guiding them on a journey that's going to make it really easy for them to book a call with you or to download a lead magnet that's going to resonate with them and going to give them some useful information.
Yeah.
So it's kind of all-encompassing, this attraction-based marketing.
It's so true, isn't it? Because we see different people interact with us that are at different levels. And in most cases, something isn't working. It might be the attraction piece to begin with, and maybe the website's actually functioning pretty well, but it's got no traffic.
Yeah.
Or most often, the website is kind of crappy. And I think one of the things that we've done really well at the Marketing Joint is make people aware that when we do get traffic to the website, it's those steps to you that any one of them can be broken and everything will fail, right? Because if we did a great job with whatever the marketing strategy was to get people to the website, then the website turns them off for some reason. What a waste of time the whole process was, right? So
yeah, exactly. And it's so easy in today's day and age for them to get options. We want to make sure we are the most attractive and the one that's speaking the most to them. Because they can easily say like, oh, this button doesn't work. Doesn't matter. I'll just go back to Google, type in the same thing that I already typed in and find someone new.
Yeah. I think one of the things that a lot of people think about, right, is I'm going to build a website and then all of a sudden there'll be traffic there. Well, that's quite true. But what I think a lot of people don't realize is that the website has traffic to it. And 70% of that traffic, generally speaking, is usually cold traffic. It might have come from social, but what a lot of websites are lacking is what does cold to warm traffic actually do on your website? Because what we see a lot, right, is websites that are built for the hot traffic to book a call or to book a design session. Here's the kitchen, book a call with me. And there's nothing there for people to go, I'm not really sure yet.
Yeah.
Just bounce off. So I love what you do with websites and that whole, how do we get them there and what do we do with them when they're there, around the lead magnets. Talk a little bit around the lead magnet, because that's part of that taking people from cold to warm strategy, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way the lead magnets work is we kind of want to give them like a value buy-in. So keeping in mind who is the person that we're trying to attract or the people we're trying to attract. If they're not 100% sold, what's something that we can give them that's going to push them a little further down the marketing funnel or going to make them a little bit more of a hot lead? So if we're thinking of someone like, I'll stick with my mum and dad down the road. If they're kind of umming and ahhing about whether or not you're the right choice, or it might just be overwhelming for them, they might be finding the whole process overwhelming. Having a lead magnet that's something like a top 10 checklist of things or mistakes you don't want to make when you're working with a joiner or when you're building a new kitchen, and having that on your homepage quite high up, they don't have to scroll too far to get it. They might be thinking, oh, awesome, okay, this is perfect for me. Free download, I just put my email in, I'm going to get something. It's probably quite likely that they're going to download that even if they don't know too much about your business. And that's who we're talking about when we're talking about these cold leads. So they might get that, have a read of it, think, oh, awesome, that's really cool. That might persuade them to then book a call with you or get in touch. But if it doesn't, we then put them through a lead nurturing sequence. Now they're super, super basic emails. It's nothing too wordy. It's not too salesy. It's not going to make them think, oh my goodness, I've given my email to these people. They're going to bombard me with emails now. I wish I didn't do that. They're super, super simple emails that just say, hey, mum and dad down the road. It's me from so-and-so business. So we downloaded my guide. What did you think?
Yeah.
Or do you need any help?
Yeah, because the ultimate goal really is to get them to have a conversation, right? That's the goal of that, not to sell them something. And that's, when we talk about people that do email follow-up or email marketing, most of them that I've seen are really trying to sell something in the email, like buy this, click here type of thing. We're not really trying to do that. We're just trying to promote a conversation to happen, because it might still happen that this person is not a good lead. Like it might still happen that we find out that they're a D-grade client, but we don't know that until we have a conversation, really, do we?
No, exactly. And it's like exactly what you said. We're not trying to sell to everyone. We want to sell to the right person who's going to make our life easier and make our day-to-day more enjoyable.
Yeah. So I love that. I love that strategy where we're really just, it's like little breadcrumbs or little steps forward that eventually get people into a conversation. So then we can have that fit, no fit conversation.
Yeah, exactly. And if we're able to make it passive through something like a lead magnet and a lead nurturing sequence, then that's really what your marketing's for. We're here to make things easier for you. So you're not playing phone tag all day and spending your day buried in admin. So it's something that can be outsourced and something that can be automated. We're all for it.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So, hey, Claire, I've got a question for you. You've been now immersed, I think it's fair to say immersed and fully embraced by the cabinet and joinery industry, not only just here in Australia, but around the world, because we've got clients here in Australia and we've got clients in the UK and New Zealand, the United States. What are you seeing right now as emerging trends coming out of the industry?
I think something that is so huge and something that I will speak about to every single one of our clients is kind of a face-to-face, actually getting behind the camera approach. So I know it's so daunting for so many people to get behind a camera and speak to a camera, but the more that we are seeing that in our clients and the more that we're seeing people kind of showing a personality, showing a side of them that obviously we won't usually see on socials because you're probably more so focused on that product. But I think having, a reel where you're doing a little behind the scenes of the factory or a day in the life of a joiner. Because if you think about the stuff that you're interacting with on socials, it's probably stuff like that. It's very rare unless you're looking for something in particular that you're going to be sitting there looking through products. It's fine for people that are super, super hot leads. But if you've got people that are kind of passively watching your content, they've got you in the back of their mind, what's going to make them super, super eager is having that kind of personal relationship or that like influencer type of relationship. How can you influence your audience?
That ability now to make the connection, right? Because we've got the technology and the thing on our hip to do it anytime we want.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be produced. It doesn't have to be, structured or scripted or planned. Just kind of pulling out your phone, going on stories, going on live. I mean, it's something that we do at the Marketing Join and the Joinery Coach. You know us because you see us and you can hear us through all these different avenues. We're not just posting photos and, text or anything like that. If you think of us, you're probably going to picture Bruce and hear Bruce because he's the face of the business. Yeah. So if you're able to do that for your own business, and it's an amazing thing to do. And that's a huge, huge trend in development in marketing for sure.
Yeah, because people want to know who the people are that they're likely to connect with, right? So I think we often say people buy from people, right? No matter what, you often hear this business to business connection or person to person. It's always humans to humans, no matter what industry it's in.
Exactly. And if people are hesitant for marketing in general, they're usually like, oh, I get everything through referral or through word of mouth. Why is that? Because people are buying from people who've had that experience.
Yeah.
So we can kind of replicate that by getting your face out there in the socials and speaking out to the world.
Yeah. So if somebody was listening to this conversation right now that runs a small cabinet making or joinery business and is kind of saying, oh, what a load of crap. I don't need marketing. I've got word of mouth. What would you say to that person? Like, what would be the reason that they should get a little bit more interested in a marketing strategy of some kind?
I'm all for referrals and I'm all for testimonials, but I think there comes a time where that's going to run out. I mean, how many people do you know that are going to need a new kitchen? Even if you're the most popular business in the world, eventually those referrals are going to run out, and they're great until they run out. And then you don't want to be in that position where you're thinking, oh, no one's coming through anymore. I better turn on the marketing switch and start getting clients super fast from marketing. It doesn't work that way. If you're able to get a great lead flow through referrals, then I'm not saying cut them off, focus on marketing. Don't worry about that. That's awesome and that's great. And we can use that to nourish and nurture your marketing as well through testimonials and video testimonials. But marketing is something that kind of needs to be always on. You kind of always need to be thinking about it and doing something. If you're, in the position to get an agency to do that for you, then even better.
Yeah.
But I think, running on referrals is only good for a very short amount of time.
Yeah, and I think word of mouth or referrals is great if you have like a very, very small business. That may generate enough work, but most of the people we work with are wanting to get up to the next level or two.
Yeah.
And word of mouth is going to, like you say, it's going to limit out pretty quickly. Plus, I don't think you have any control over what someone says to the next person. So, you don't really have any strategy to it. It's just someone, and of course, your clients recommending you to others is a result, but it's not a strategy, really, is it?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you could be doing that on a scale that's tenfold without really putting in any effort. You're not actually having to be there installing anything or designing anything or, actually doing any work. It can just be kind of happening organically from your marketing.
And I think one of the other things that needs to be put on the table here in this conversation that most people miss is that word of mouth is great, but in today's society, what we know from tracking footprints of people on the internet, what typically happens is one person says to another person, yeah, I think, go to Joe's Cabinets. They did a great job for me. The person that they refer to, like the person they're talking to, does not just automatically pick up the phone and go, great, I'm going to buy a kitchen from you.
Yeah.
Right? That doesn't happen. That's not a thing. What does happen is that person goes to their computer and they look at your website. They look at your Facebook page. They look at your Instagram feed. They look at your LinkedIn profile. That's what people do these days. So when the referral actually happens, which is a good thing, they then look at your marketing strategy. They look at how much can I actually trust this business? I'm trusting them enough because my friend has already told me how great they are, but that's not going to be enough for me to buy from them, right?
Exactly.
People will then look for, what is more proof that this business is great. I do this myself all the time. Somebody will say something about an architect or a builder that I might want to talk to. The first thing I do is I jump onto Facebook or I go to their website and I look at their reviews and I look at their past history and stuff like that. And only then do I then maybe send them a message or make a phone call. So I think what most people are missing is that word of mouth may actually be working better for a lot of people, but their marketing that is non-existent is actually killing the effect of word of mouth actually working better for you in many cases. Because I'll often jump onto a cabinet maker's Facebook page and go, oh, the last post was, April 3rd, 2021.
Are they closed? What's going on?
What does that mean? Well, that's not good.
No, absolutely. I think that's huge. And I think that also speaks to having that consistency and that branding across everything, which is a huge part and often like the first part that we would think of when we get a new client or when we're talking to someone about their marketing. What's their branding like? And is that speaking to those people? Because exactly. Like you said, they're not just going to pick up the phone and go, hi, hey, my friend recommended you. Like, what do you do? Are we a good fit? They're going to want to see some concrete proof.
Yeah. People are pretty protective of their time these days. And rightly so, right? There's lots of people out there that are not a good fit. So, and we have these tools available at our fingertips and most people use them. I'll look at your Instagram feed. I'll look at your, whatever it is out in social media.
Absolutely.
Another question for you. Now that you've got a great number of clients in the marketing agency that you work with on a fairly intimate level, what would you say are the one or maybe two things that the ones that are really kicking goals right now? What's the thing that got them to their success level quickly? What would you say stands out?
Oh, I can actually answer this one in two parts. All right. First part is they're very clear on what they want. So these are the clients that have said, this is my ideal client. They're super specific. They're super niche. They're idealistic. It might sound like a pipe dream if you were to hear it, but they know exactly who they want. Mm-hmm. And then the second part of that is that they work with us to create content that is going to work really well for them. So that means, they're working with photographers to get beautiful photos of their work that resonate with that audience. But it also means that they're not afraid to kind of get behind the camera. Like I said before, they're people that aren't afraid to, have it themselves as the face of the business or have someone as the face of the business. And they're creating content that works in twofold with the content that we're making.
Yeah.
I think that is so, so huge. And I know, and I'll keep saying it, I know it's intimidating for a lot of people to get behind the camera, but once you start doing it, you'll see the traction on your page, you'll see the interaction that you're getting with people, and then you'll probably, want to do it more and more and more because you can see those results.
Well, it certainly gets a lot easier when you do it more and more and more. Yeah. But it is true that a lot of people struggle to take that first step just to get to do a couple of things on camera. Yeah. So you're saying that once we know really, really clearly who it is we want to be attractive to, it is kind of human nature, isn't it? We're both, we're most of us on this team are of a certain age that, we're not teenagers anymore, right? But when we were sort of out in the world looking for, people that we wanted to be attractive to, we knew that it was that type or this type that, it's kind of intuitive as humans that we know who it is we want to be attracted to. Like some people like redheads and some people like blondes and brunette, that is kind of human nature that we know. We don't just sort of go out and say, gee, I hope I find someone today. Like maybe that's a thing, but
that sounds so nice.
Yeah. Gee, I hope I find someone, which is true. But if we're talking about business, it's not going to work so well. So knowing who it is we want to be super attractive to, and then, what is it about our business, that message from a personal aspect, because, people buy from people, and if they know who it is in this business, that's going to create that connection a whole lot faster. I love that. That's really good.
Yeah, we can speak straight to them. It's like looking down the lens, who you're talking to.
Yep. Last question for you, Claire. Let's pretend that you can only go to one concert or performance for the rest of your life. You can only pick one. And you can choose to see anybody past or present, like dead or alive. You can go to see them. Who would you pick?
Am I going by myself?
Wow. Okay.
Can I have two answers, alone or with someone?
Sure. Yeah. Alone or with someone. Okay. Perfect.
So with someone would be Jimi Hendrix, because my partner is like a crazy guitar guy and he is obsessed with him. So I would take one for the team and go and see. I like him as well, but that would be for him. For me, I would love to see Jeff Buckley. That would be my dream.
Wow. So you are kind of a good guitar fan, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I try to play, but I'm double jointed and my fingers get locked up.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not very.
That's two awesome choices. I've never heard that before, but Jimi Hendrix would be an awesome choice.
Yeah.
Cool. I keep saying James Brown.
Oh, James Brown, that is cool.
I think it's just because we were living in Canada in the 90s and 2000s, and James Brown was touring at that time. And my wife and I were saying, yeah, let's go and see him. And we had actually made a commitment to see him. And guess what happened? He died. So I kind of regret missing the opportunity to see him. But
well, I'm pretty sure Hendrix actually played sideman to James Brown at one stage. So we might catch you at the concert.
Yeah, we can see. We'll have to do some work on our photoshopping abilities and make a. That's actually a pretty cool idea, right? We should take all of these answers from people and Photoshop people into the concert.
Yeah, I would love that.
That's a great idea. Awesome. Claire, let's shift gears here a little bit. For anybody listening to this that is a cabinet making business, a joinery business owner, anybody in our industry, what's the easiest way for them to have a look at our stuff and then connect with us?
We'll just have a Google us. Find us at The Marketing Joint across Instagram, Facebook, or just a Google search. We've got an awesome website and you can have a look at all the amazing stuff that we're doing for our clients as well.
So themarketingjoint.com?
That's it.
Cool. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on pretty much every social media platform there is, aren't we?
We're doing the marketing right as a marketing agency. We're everywhere. Cool.
Thanks, Claire. It's been great. Love what you do. Really appreciate you and everything you do for everyone we work with. Keep up the great work.
Thanks. Happy to be here. Thanks, guys, for listening.